got the smudge pot going. It is like 45 degrees or something like that today. The high's supposed to be like in the 50s, so little too cold for the southern boy to be working. But with the sun out, it makes it bearable at least. And then with the smudge pot, you can see the shadow, but it's putting out a pretty good amount of heat. I'm let's see, probably 5-6 feet away, something like that, and I can feel a good heat off of it. So anyway, so I'll come over here whenever I get cold. But today I'll show you what we're working on. So some of you old time Too Late I Won viewers might remember about 9 or 10 years ago I replaced the decking on my 18-foot utility trailer. That one I actually had to go and get special wood for it. Home Depot, Lowe's, they only carried up to like 16 foot. So this one is a 16-foot trailer by about 6 feet wide. 16 feet long and about 6 feet wide. So a little over 6 feet, and I'll show you why here in a second. So a couple of ways that these trailers are made is they have C-channels. And as you can see, 2x4 slips in up there, and then a lot of times there'll be another C-channel down at the bottom, and basically it'll fit inside that C-channel as well. Thing is, it makes it pretty hard especially whenever you go to the last maybe 2 or 3 boards, because up until then you can put these boards sideways, set them down, and then lock them into place, and they're good to go until you get to the center 2 or maybe 3, maybe something like that. But at that point you basically have to bow it in, lift it up in the middle to bow it, and then pull it out real quick and it slams in. It can be kind of dangerous. If you have anxiety, it'll probably be up there. I recommend, if that's the kind that you have, you might see these stitch welds, but there's basically a flat bar that's all on the top of this. If that was the case, if I had the C-channel down at the bottom, I would just use a zip wheel, a grinder, whatever, and cut that top one off, lay your boards down, and then whenever you're done, you can come back and either weld them back or just put a carriage bolt or something through, all the way through the bottom. That's what I do if that was my situation, but it's not. So I just have one C-channel up here, and then at the very bottom, once we get everything in, I'll just put some bolts that go all the way through, at least 2 on each one, and then I'll probably do a run or 2 in the middle, and well, maybe just cut it up into quarters and make it easier that way. Now if you remember on that first video I did, like I said, 10 years ago, these boards right here will not fit all the way up here inside this slot, because, and I cannot see this, so I'm just hoping for the best. The sun's kind of in my eyes, but anyways, there's a lip that's right here, and so you really need to grind off an 1/8 of an inch by, I don't know, probably 1.5 inches or so on the underside of this board. But if it doesn't jam in there, then just cut yourself a little relief notch right there. It should work. So alrighty, let's set you up and see how it goes. So not too awful bad. Before I really cram it in there, let's see if I can scoot the board this way a bit more. Okay, so I'm just getting a 2x4 scrap wood. I'm putting it on the edge, which you can't see, and then I'm going to hit that with the hammer. That way I'm not marring up the new wood. I don't know. I think we might be better off trying to stab it again. Yeah, that's a bit better. And we'll see what we can do about hammering it over some more. If it'll go. Alrighty. Now I have, maybe a 1/4 of an inch, so let's see if I can pound it forward now. Alright. So that's pretty good right there. Alright guys, so I decided I'm going to drill holes all the way through here on this rung and this one right here. We're going to go all the way through. So a pro tip from a non-pro, there's 2 different kinds of bits you can get, and if you can get these self-tappers, that's the way to go. I did not. I cheaped out and got this one. So I'm using a drill bit to go through the wood and then go through the metal. This is a 7/32, and this is about a 1/4 of an inch. I got to pre-drill everything. With this, you can pretty much just drill straight through. Usually what I do is I'd go straight through the wood, pull out the fibers, and then go into the metal, and then just send it on home. So it just creates one extra step. This uses a T30. Fits in there nice. And we'll do the same for this one. Alright, so I'm going to do the rest of these. I think I'm going to put some angle iron on the edge of this just to kind of protect the wood. But I'll get back to you once I'm done with screwing everything down, and then we'll need to rip that board and send it home as well. So I'll get back with you. Okay, so I got these 2 done. I'm doing this 3rd one. Then that's where we're going to put in the ripped piece, and then we'll do these other 3 over here. So as I'm doing these, I'm getting a bigger and bigger gap. So these boards are coming more at an angle this way. And so what I need to do is shove this board over. Since I'm the only one out here, I got to shove the board over and then screw it at the same time. Well, makes it kind of difficult. So using the high lift jack. If you guys don't have a high lift jack, these are really useful. I just got it in here. None of these boards over here are done, but they're all pushing up on each other, so it should work. This should tighten up that gap. Hopefully long enough for me to put a couple screw holes in. Further back. Go ahead and get this done, and then I'll get back with you, and then we'll do the ripped piece over there. Alright, so now comes the time. Go ahead and show you. Looks pretty good. So I don't want to say you're always going to have a kerf or whatever, a warp, whatever you want to call it, but come to expect it, because these boards aren't, you know, they haven't been planed or nothing like that, so you're going to have some discrepancies, and then you add, you know, 3 on top of it, so it gets multiplied by 3 on this side, by 3 on this side, so you're going to have a little bit of a wedge either toward or against each other. So since we need to cut this 10-inch board, I don't think it's 10-inch. So this board is 7 1/4 inches wide. See there. And then this gap actually needs to be 7 1/2. So that gives us a 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch on each side. So we're good there. What I need to do is measure all the way down to figure out where this starts to be 7 1/4. Once it becomes 7 1/4, then I can start transferring that measurement onto here. So if we go down to the bottom down there, you can see it's 7 and, what is that? 7 3/5. Yeah, about 6 5/8 inches wide. So we're going to have a tiny sliver that we're going to have to cut off. But we'll measure up and see where we can find that 7 1/4. So getting closer. Alright, so we're at 7 1/4 right here. So now we'll measure, and this is inside that pocket, all the way to, we'll say 50 inches. So we'll come up here, we'll go 50 inches down to here, and make a mark. About right here, and we'll make a mark. So we're going to go from here, this is 7 1/4. So from here, all the way down to whatever we measured, 6 5/8. So let's go do that. Measure again. We're at about 6 5/8. Let's cut that over to 6 1/2. So I measured over 6 1/2 inches. So now what we'll do is we'll get a chalk line, run it from here all the way up to where we have that mark, and then we'll cut this little sliver off. And then should fit pretty good. Alright, I'll get back with you. Alright guys, well there you go. You guys comment, rate, let me know what you think. I think this will be pretty good. And then again, if this was mine, I'd put the oil and gasoline treatment on it, but again, I'm selling it, so I'm not going to do that. I don't know if the other person would want that. So this is pressure treated, so if they wanted to Thompson water seal it or whatever else they want to use. Y'all comment, rate. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. See ya.